you take your first look at a Pressure Pro, it looks like you got something from like a spacecraft company, and people look at it and go, whoa, that's kind of weird, and 8 years ago it was kind of weird. But now we're talking about over 100 of these already being used by off-road teams all over the off-road industry.
If you're gonna win, you have to have a Pressure Pro. It's mobile, it's easy to use, it's safe, it's quick. The teams love it.
The Pressure Pro is a closed loop system. What that means is there's no oxygen inside of it. So if there's zero oxygen, there's zero chance of a fire. It's really one of those things where you're just getting your drink of water or a bar for food, and they're like, on the ground, the tires and the fuel are done. If you can save 30 to 45 seconds every single time, we're talking about winning the race. Rehearsal is a huge part of anything. When we go to the races, we go pre-run and we recon the course. Of course, we practice tire changes in the pit stop so we know we're gonna be efficient. The same is true for the Pressure Pro. You can't just let someone jump on this that doesn't know how to use it. And that's what the safety video is all about. Everybody that gets near this or is gonna use it should watch this video. And also, they need to be checked out on it by the team, by people that know how to use it, because if you come into this blind or not sure what you're doing, then you become a danger. And we're talking about racing, we're talking about safety, and that's what Pressure Pro is all about. They're trying to make off-road racing safer and more efficient.
This is a CO2 stem. I've got this new O-ring system put on this high pressure line here. Inspect it, make sure it's tight. Hand tight only, just a little snug, that's all it takes. This here is your fuel cap. Make sure the tank pressure has been released. There's no tank pressure. Pull this cap off. Fill the Pressure Pro through this fill neck. It's got an O-ring on it. Keep it a little bit greased, it'll work a little smoother. Just get it a little bit snug and you're ready to go. This is a static line we use. Just clamp it on the Pressure Pro. When the truck comes in, have a spot that you already picked out. Have a guy follow the truck in, clamp it on the truck. It'll neutralize the static, make it much safer to fill the truck. Okay, so we have two hoses here. We got the delivery hose and we got the vent hose. The vent hose is 2-inch, delivery hose is 2.5. You can't get them mixed up. So just push it in the cam lock. Make sure that's closed. Make sure that closed. And after I do that, I always put a zip tie on these, just so they don't accidentally pop off. You're good to go. Okay, so now that we got the Pressure Pro right where we want it, we got the fuel in it that we need, we're gonna put the pressure in it and get it ready to go. So every time you start a new race, you take these air regulators, it's a good idea to back them off one full turn, because what we're trying to do is build up to 10 or 11 PSI, and to do that we have to roll up to it. So I'm gonna slowly turn this bottle on. We're gonna slowly turn this bottle on. So we're gonna do this side first. I'm gonna turn this valve on. Now we gotta charge this up full of CO2. So now that I unscrewed this one revolution, we're only at 4 pounds. So now we're gonna roll this in and we're gonna watch tank pressure. We're gonna do 10 pounds today. So now I'm gonna roll this in. Okay, so now we're at 10 PSI. I'm gonna lock this in. I'm gonna shut this off. This side's set at 10. Now I gotta burp some out. Okay, now I just dropped about 2 PSI. So now I'm gonna open up this side and I'm gonna roll this side up to 10 PSI. So after we balance both sides out, we want to just get this jam nut and kind of just snug fit it so it doesn't spin on you or bump on it. And now this is set for the entire day. So now we're going to load the hose. We're going to do it for two reasons. If the truck comes in and the hose is not loaded and you stab the truck and pull full force, the fuel is going to rush through here. It's going to hit that red head pretty hard. You don't want that to happen. So the first thing you got to make sure is the air coupler opens up the end of the fuel hose so the air can come out as the fuel goes in. So we have to start with this. We don't want to trap air down in a pocket. So the operator pressure pro is going to pull the handle real slowly, and I'm going to see the fuel come in, and I'm going to follow it down, 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 down. So I'm going to lay this thing down here. Now this guy's got it. We're following it up, following it up. Jim, ready? When it gets about here, turn the valve off, pop that off. Stop that first. Then pull this off. That way we're not pressurizing the line. So as the fuel's coming into the hose, you track it up very slowly, and when it gets up to about 8 inches from the top, shut that valve off, pull this off, because you don't want to take any chances of having the fuel come out. This little bit of air is not going to hurt anything. So now that we loaded the hose and got the fuel up in this area here, we got this off, the handle's off, we can turn the bottles off and we can turn the 1-inch ball valves off and shut the pressure pro down. I just hang this in a safe place, and usually 10 minutes before the truck comes in, the guy grabs the hose, turn the bottles back on slowly, turn the 1-inch ball valves back on about 10 minutes before the truck shows up, and then you just stand there and wait. Okay, so this can is necessary and required. It does two things. It will catch the overflow from the vent. As you fill the truck, most vents will blurble out a little bit, and this catches it. And the other purpose is, say I've got it in here, we got a little bit of spray and I accidentally cut an O-ring, has a place to throw this into the can so fuel doesn't spray around in the pits. So these double red heads are both, they look identical right here, which they are. If you notice, I got my fuel delivery hose here with this a fill. I got a marked fill. Over here is vent. You'll see it's a smaller hose, it's for the vent. And I always mark the red head with an up. Always make sure it's in the direction of up, because the operator can look at that and know and verify that he's in the right direction, plug it into the truck. So as a stabber, I'm looking for two things. I'm looking for drippage. If anything's dripping, the stabber can roll this thing a little bit and make a better connection and stop it. I'm also staring at the vent line. As soon as the fuel hits that vent line, I've got to get out immediately, because 2.5 gallons a second are coming into the vent line. If you hold it on, you times that by 5 seconds, your vent line and the catch tank is going to fill up. So it's critical for the fueler to stare at the vent line. Fuel hits it, pull it straight out.
To operate the Pressure Pro effectively and safely, you have to make sure there's a few key things that are happening before you fuel the truck. The biggest thing is making sure the vent line and the catch can are absolutely empty. So if you fueled the truck just before and you got a little burp of fuel back in there, when you go to fuel it the next time, you have to clear those both out because they won't vent properly if there's fuel in either the hose or the catch can.
The Pressure Pro is designed to work as it is. You cannot modify it.
Safety, of course, includes all the wardrobe that your crew is wearing as well. So check with your sanctioning body for what they require. But in my opinion, if you're from the middle of the truck back anywhere near the fueling, you have to have fire resistant gear on. You have to have driving suit, head sock for safety. I mean, really be thinking about the fact that there is fuel around. There are hot items like the brakes and the exhaust, lots going on. So safety first, wear your fireproof suits.
The Pressure Pro is a closed system, no air, no fire. Tower tanks are very dangerous because people don't realize a tower tank, when it's empty, it's full of air. Air and fumes from fuel at the right mixture, it's an absolute bomb.
I love to use the Pressure Pro system, and if you're not, I have a feeling you're gonna be eating my dust, and hopefully, even if you do use it, you'll still be eating my dust.